Hello everyone, welcome to another beer review. Anyway, so we're still in Portugal, still trying some of the local fare, and today we're on the second red ale that we're at. So we're on Alma artisanal, oh god, artisanal beer. Excuse me about that. I just done a review there and we're just kind of coming back on a little bit there. I know I was struggling to get the word out. So artisanal, and it's I don't know if it's Vicentina or Vicentina, maybe Vicentina, maybe. And it's a red ale. It's, as it's saying on it, really nothing so much. It's a 5%, 230ml, no mention of IBU as far as I can see. Just says best served at between 5 degrees C and 7 degrees C. It does say it's got tropical fruit notes. This is me basically picking it up from my very poor Portuguese. So it's notas de frutos tropicais, and of course it's got citrus and caramel, apparently, which is a bit strange for a red ale, but anyway. And where is it brewed? Braga. So it's from Braga, and it's called Portuguese Exclusive Drinks Bar. So let's crack it open and oh god, and see what it's like. I'm enjoying myself. It'll take a while to get everybody else out the bloody villa so I can actually have a bit of alone time with the bottles. Oh gosh, this is a bit of a lively one. No, this has got its knickers in the twist already. Well, he just pulled it out of the fridge. Oh! It smells very interesting. Very, very interesting. I can smell malt. I'm also getting little banana tones and everything. I mean, all I'm going to say is that certain breweries in the UK, while I'm waiting for this to go down, need to start kind of waking up, because tasting these beers, it's not a case as though that, you know, the European breweries around about Europe are catching up with the kind of brewing of ales. And we're talking about more proper kind of traditional ales rather than the kind of craft kind of IPAs and APAs and nippers and all this type of stuff. East Coast, West Coast, all this kind of bollocks. The New World hops and New Zealand hops and all this type of stuff. What they are doing is they've caught up with the more traditional ales that are associated with the UK. And going by what I've tasted so far, they're brewing damn good ones. And there's certain breweries in the UK don't back up their ideas and start kind of understanding there is a threat coming from these breweries. And eventually they will start to come to the UK and there's going to have a real fight in their hands. And there's quite a few British breweries that are going to lose because their attitude towards the customer, the product and everything else is utter shit. I'll be just totally honest, it's dreadful. They need to kind of wake up and get an ice cream. Look at the state of that. But anyway, for people on the podcast, it is a kind of reddish, kind of copper colour. It's very cloudy. It's not clear at all. It's got a nice kind of off-white head. A bit too much, actually, to the point is that we're at the stage of we could like a flake with that, sir, you know. But anyway, smells. I'm getting. Do you know what it smells like? Maybe used to go to the Chinese, used to get banana fritters with the sugar syrup. There's the smell. It's like the smell of banana fritters with a kind of golden syrupy smell to go with it. So it is like basically what we used to get as a dessert was banana fritters in the Chinese restaurant. And that's what it smells like. And it actually smells lovely. It does, it actually smells really, really appealing. So let's see what it tastes like. Now that is interesting because it tastes like a banana fritter with syrupy tones. So it actually tastes like it smells, but you get a little kind of hint of kind of vanilla at the back end. And then after that, just that I'm kind of noticing now is you get a little bit of bitterness coming through just at the end of the aftertaste. So you can get a bit of bitterness right at the very, very back end. You get a nice kind of vanilla tones just at the transition between the mid-tongue and the back of the mouth. And yes, it really is nice. Mm. And a wee bit of sharpness there as well. A bit of sharpness that I'm starting to notice. That is a nice beer. And again, it's actually quite rich. So it is. But it's a nice kind of little, how would I say, take on a red ale. It's taking a red ale, adding some kind of tones that, and flavours that you wouldn't be really associating with a red ale. But nicer tones that, I mean, it's not about the hops and the citrus and everything else. You can play about with the yeast and everything else, and you can create some esters and things like that. And yeah, you're getting that. But it's nicely carbonated, nice mouthfeel. And to be totally honest, being over here and reviewing these beers and enjoying these beers, it really isn't a hardship being away from the UK. You would probably think that being, I mean, plenty of people do it, they go away on holiday and, you know, they miss their kind of favourite beers. Have to put up with the kind of the lager side of it and that kind of stuff, or the kind of generic kind of European mega brands like Heineken, all this kind of stuff, Carlsberg and things like that. And for a lot of ale drinkers, it's a struggle. I'll be totally honest, it is a struggle sometimes. You may be away for a week or 2 weeks and you're like, oh God, seriously. Yeah, and let's be totally honest, quite a lot of them will go on wine. I mean, I've done that myself, whereas I just can't suffer this anymore. I'm going to go on the wine for the rest of the holiday. I can't suffer this shit. And that's what you feel like. So it's really refreshing because I tried some local beers the last time I was in Portugal, but it was over at Faro, which of course is more of a holiday destination, and that kind of epitomises that with the kind of beers that are on offer, you know, things like that. And I was quite disappointed to try and find something different away from the kind of mainstream piss waters and the kind of local, well, I did the local lagers and things like that. There was nothing really much else to kind of go for. To the point I was even doing Russian beers over there because there just wasn't really much there. And even then it was the crappy Russian beers as well, so that was quite disappointing. Whereas this time being in Porto, it's a completely different scene. And I think this is what it's like in a lot of the big cities where there's more options and things like that. And there's a lot more kind of breweries kind of round about these areas of the major cities, which of course is natural. And yeah, you're getting really nice flavoured beers. Really nice. So the flavours are kind of slightly died down now as my mouth has got acclimatised. You're still getting these tones, but they're not as in your face as they were initially with the first couple of sips. So things have kind of died down, and it is just really a nice drinking beer. It's a nice kind of malt feel to it, nice body to it, nice mouth feel. The flavours are actually quite clean. But now that they've died down, they're just kind of slightly kind of working more together now, so they feel a bit more cohesive because you feel that they're kind of connected. They were slightly, I mean, they were nice flavours, but they were just kind of slightly isolated. Where they've kind of come together better now as your mouth has got more acclimatised. Because I think initially when you're trying it, your mouth is identifying the kind of stronger flavours straight away, and until it starts to pick up the lesser flavours and the accents that are kind of sitting in between to help connect all these kind of main flavours, it feels slightly, ever so slightly disjointed, but yeah. This is nice. So let's break down the flavours. It's quite lively to the point that I think this might even be bottle conditioned, which is, I think it is actually, which has gone well with the way I've been pouring it and how I've been storing it, because I think this was on its side in the fridge, which is never a good way to be storing a bottle conditioned beer. It should really be upright, especially in the fridge. But anyway, look at that, eh? Oh, like a German. Anyway, or a Czech. But yeah, so let's break down the flavours. Right, start off, you get a nice bit of malt, nice kind of golden syrup flavours, and they really are quite prominent. Nice bit of grain, and surprisingly a bit of sweetness, but not as much as you probably think when I'm saying it's got quite a good strong golden syrup edge to it. And then just as you start to move from the front of the mouth into the mid-tongue, that's when you start picking up these kind of banana tones, almost like banana fritters, with that kind of golden syrup, and that's what kind of hits home. The two of them together gives you that kind of banana fritters kind of vibe. But also, you're picking up nothing like passion fruit or anything like that type of stuff, but you get little vanilla tones, just light vanilla tones, just little accents of it that you're getting. But you may be getting just a little bit of citrus, just a little bit, but more kind of like mandarin oranges, kind of very light, and it works with the kind of sweetness of the golden syrup. So you get that kind of golden syrup kind of sweetness, the banana edge, and a little bit of kind of mandarin orange, and little hints of vanilla. And overall, yeah, very, very nice. As it moves into the back of the mouth and the aftertaste from the mid-tongue, the kind of tone, the kind of flavour that kind of draws it over is the little bits of vanilla. It kind of draws it over. And then what it does is it starts to kind of dissipate. It's quite a clean finish, but what you are getting is the bitterness comes in really late in the aftertaste, so it does. So you've actually swallowed it. And just as you're swallowing it, that's when you start getting that little bit of bitterness and the kind of residue in the back of the mouth and on the roof of the mouth. And yeah, it's unusual, but it's very nice and very Moorish, and it is quite a unique and different spin on a radio, but a very nice one. So what would I give this out of 10? Well, for the uniqueness, because I didn't expect these flavour tones, and they actually work, and it actually just makes the beer something a bit different and interesting compared to the normal stuff. So yeah, this is really kind of nice. I don't know how many I could drink. Maybe if I chilled it down a bit more, maybe I could have a bit more of them, but I would probably say I'd only have a couple of them, because it's quite rich. It's so it is. And the flavours are fairly bold as well, so again, you've got to kind of understand it's not a sessionable. It's not a radio where you're going to be sitting there and sinking a good session on. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to give it a time between a 7 and a 7.5. I'm going to give it a 7. I'm going to give it a 7, but it's an easy 7, getting close to 7.5. It's not that far away from a 7.5, I would say. It's a good, interesting beer with nice flavour profiles, and it'd be interesting to try this in the UK. It'd be interesting to see it in a kind of slightly cooler environment, because again, that change. I'm drinking this during the day. I mean, right now the temperature's about 27, 28 just now, and it's quite warm. You know, it is for a Scotsman anyway. And drinking these type of beers isn't the kind of normal environment you would be drinking in. And this would be nice in the kind of temperatures of kind of in the teens, you know, that type of stuff, in the kind of mid to high teens would be kind of perfect, things like that. But just for the kind of temperature and the environment just now, it's a wee bit, not going to say difficult, but it's not a kind of natural environment for people from the UK to kind of really be drinking these beers. So that's why I'm going to give it a 7 right now, but it's not that far away from 7.5. So anyway, so this beer is 5%, 10-30ml, no mention of IBUs. It's easy 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Cheers and bye for now.